Hi everybody, my name is John McMinn, and I told Steve, the maker of the APE software emulator, that I would make a video showing how I used a Macintosh computer to run APE software without buying Windows, without running Wine, because I had some trouble with that one, and with totally free software. And you can use the shareware version of Steve's software, but you're going to see in this video it's worth having the registered version. So if you'll give me just a minute, we'll get that going for you. Okay, here we have my home setup. Down here you've got the Atari, and over here you've got the adapter that APE makes available, or that AtariMax makes available, and that is connected to the USB port on my Macintosh PowerBook. So first things you're going to need to be able to do is download two pieces of software. One is called ReactOS. ReactOS is a new freeware or share. I think it's freeware. There's no shareware, so it's free. ReactOS. I'm running 0.0, 0.4, 0.0. Download the ISO, and you're going to need this program called VirtualBox. There, that's put out by Oracle. VirtualBox is also free, so you'll want to install VirtualBox and then install ReactOS in it. I don't have time in this video to show you all the steps I went through for that, but the most important part is Atari disks are not very big. So if you run in Windows 32-bit mode, you're going to end up with a really big RAM drive, and you don't need that big. So I went with a NT compatible Windows 2000 mode. Windows 2000, it only made for a 3 gig hard drive, and that way you can load all the Atari stuff in it you want. So here's how it works in reality. If you launch VirtualBox, then you should have a virtual environment. It's called Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager, and then from here you'll be able to tell it to create a new machine, and then you'll point it to the ReactOS disk, and you'll be able to install it from here. I've already done that. I've already done that step. So here we're just going to tell it to start. Now we're running in full screen mode, but I can swap it out. I always pick the top one, which is the one that just says ReactOS. And here we go. Now, if you bring it up to the top, you can see the drop down, and you're going to be able to do a really cool thing from here. And one of the things you'll need to do is make sure that your USB driver that installs with APE is recognized in the device manager of ReactOS. I had to manually configure my USB port. I plugged in a USB device, went to control panels, opened up device manager. It didn't know what the device was. Put the APE driver in into it, and or point it to the APE driver, and then it knew exactly how to do the cable. You can always tell because this thing lights up when it's been activated. So it hadn't been activated yet, but it will be in just a moment. So from here we can just double click on my APE for Windows, which I've already installed. So that's right. And then you tell it to start. Now APE runs if you're in 256 color mode, but it looks really weird, so it's better to be in 800 by 600 with 1,000 colors, and then you can just make it full screen. It makes no difference anyway. So you can expand that if you want, or you can leave it smaller. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Make it smaller. You can move it around wherever you want it to be. I like to have a little space down here to see what's going on. So now another really cool thing you can do is you can go over here to the shared folder settings, and I chose to create a new folder, and just like that, and then you can tell it other, and then I took it to the desktop, and there's my disk on my desktop that has all my Atari stuff in it. I've already done that, so I'm going to tell it cancel. What you want to do is tell it auto mount make permanent. That way it sees it as a regular disk. Right there, machine folder. Now you'll have to reboot the ReactOS, not the Mac, but the React OS if you want it to mount. But then you'll have this cool ability to tell it to load, and you can load from this VX or VBox discs. I don't know if you can see that or not. There we go. That one might be a little blurry, sorry. Anyway, that's all of the discs that I had in there. Now the registered version has the advantage of you can download games that or discs that have multiple games on them. And in this field right here, you'll see all the games that are in it. That's awesome, because then you can download collections that are already ready to go, and you'll already have all the games in there listed. So let's say, for example, we want to play a game like Missile Command. Let me see if I can find that. Boom. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Well, let's just load up Pac-Man. So you don't have to load from here. You load the disk image, and then it mounts it right there. And then you come back over to your Atari and you turn it on, and you have to hold the option key down, and I can't do that with one hand. So you'll just have to pardon me for a second. Okay, we have now pushed the button, and I'm still holding the option key, and I'll let down, and now you look on the screen, and sure enough, there it is. Did it recognize the drive? Sure enough, the light's on. So from here, you'll be able to load the game that you want, just like you would expect. So if we want to play Pac-Man, it would be right there. And while that's loading, I want to tell you the website that I like to go to in order to get Atari stuff. And these change all the time, so just be aware. I like to go to this one right here called HomeSoft. HomeSoft Disk Images. And you can see you've got a whole bunch of discs that you can choose from, all for the Atari. But I'm not going to bother with making sure you know what the address is. You can Google these and find them easy enough yourself. I don't want to get anybody in trouble anyway. So here we go. There's that back up on the screen. On this screen you have Atari. Okay, got my trusty TAC2, the best joystick, I think. And we hit start, and away we go. There you go. And that's my introduction how you can run the APE software on a Macintosh, and you can do it without buying Windows or having to mess with the Wine installers or the parallels or any of the rest of that mess. So good luck, and if it works for you, send me a text back and just say, hey, I got it going too. All right, see you in the 8-bit room. Bye.